What's up, y'all? I haven't hit y'all with a vlog since Mr. Dale's birthday. And I was just kind of pondering something this week. It was really crazy. I was just thinking about how humility is a very hard thing to come by. Um, and it's crazy because a lot of times we attribute it to the time that we live in. I don't know how to make this bigger. Oh, here it is. Boom. Just so I can see myself better. That doesn't help y'all at all. But I'm in my car, as you can see. It's Sunday morning. So happy Sunday. I plan to have this video done before church this morning. Um, anyway, but yeah, a lot of times we attribute um, pride and arrogance to the time that we live in, but it's really just a human condition that um, we have to check ourselves on it. And the reason why I know it's not new is because what even made me think of the idea about humility being a really hard thing to come by is I was thinking about the story of Joseph, and I was actually thinking about, how people always say that Joseph shouldn't have told his brothers his dream, which is not true. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. That's just not true. I get the human logic because we want to avoid inconveniences and struggles and all of that. But the reality is him telling his brothers and their, you know, jealousy and inability to, you know, receive him was what set him up for his dream to come true. And the dream that God gave him wasn't just about himself, in a sense of speaking. It was like a specific dream, and God fulfilled it. And God helped a lot, like the whole kingdom, um, on the basis of Joseph's dream being fulfilled. Um, and but also in the meantime, in between time, which this just blessed me, is that Joseph still was very, very blessed himself. He had the wife, the kids, and he was second in command, only in name and title, to the king. So I thought that was really dope. um but that wasn't even like my focal point. My thing that really, really helped me understand just how hard humility is the fact that humility was hard even for his father. And was the reason why that um stood out to me is because his dad actually liked him. He was his dad's favorite child, and yet and still, when Joseph was like, "Y'all are gonna bow down to me," his dad was like, "Excuse me, what? No, pump your brakes." And I'm quoting it loosely because I didn't even go back and read the story and like fully prepare to do this vlog this morning. I just had the time this morning. I just happened to be up really early, so I thought I'd hit y'all with a vlog before service right quick. And anyway, that's neither here nor there. And it was really interesting to me. But the cool part about it uh, was the way that his dad handled it. Um, Actually, I guess I did read part of the story. I think I did because um, I thought about the contrast between the brothers and the father. So neither one of them really cared for his dream of them bowing down to him when he had it. Um, but it was kind of interesting. I think in the story it kind of talked about his brother's reaction and how they, just like were hating. But with his father, it talks about how his father took some time to think about um, what Joseph had said to him, and I think he kind of was able to. I don't know, because I don't know if I read as deep off into it where he accepted it at any point, but I know he didn't have the same reaction that the brothers was like, "We gonna kill him." And it was like, well, no, they had the one brother was like, let's not kill him, let's just sell him, and we'll still get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? And Yeah, humility is a very hard thing to come by. So don't be afraid to check yourself sometimes. You don't always have it right. I don't always have it right. And that's just the thing. I mean, his dad, who was a good father in a sense of speaking, he loved on him. He gave him nice things. Like he was his favorite child. So even if he wasn't a good father overall, he was nice to Joseph. And but when Joseph was like, "Y'all gonna bet down to me," the daddy was like, I be with you, son, but I don't know about that. But he at least took the time to think about what Joseph said and to humble himself. It didn't happen immediately, but he did. He was willing and able to do it. So, uh, I want to encourage you to not, number one, don't be afraid to share your dreams. I always have to say that. I'm not saying go out and brag. And that's why I say you have to be humble. Joseph said what he said because God gave it to him. And I believe it was, well, I know because it was the road that took him to his blessing, that God wanted him to share it with his brothers, even though people say all the time he shouldn't have told his brothers, his haters, they were gonna kill him. No, you can't kill what God has. You can't curse what God has blessed. You can't kill what God has given life. If God has given a dream, like, you can't kill it. You can try, and you can even try to attack the person, but at the end of the day, God's will is going to be done. Period. Um, but he wasn't bragging. He was just stating what God gave him, and it doesn't show to me a lack of humility. He was just being honest. He was just speaking the dream, and like I said, I believe he was under the unction. Um, but also, and just looking at the different reactions, sometimes, and I think this is the best, I think the coolest, one of the coolest things that we could remember in this time, I think, and this is what becomes a challenge for us in this time, is not always having an immediate reaction. Like, take the time to think and have a more um, a more better, a more obedient response to the will of God. Not necessarily the will of another person, but the will of God for your life and for that person's life, and for people's lives, because your life affects so many, whether you know it or not. And so I just love Joseph. I probably have talked to y'all about Joseph before, and I'll probably talk about him again. But yeah, that was just my thing. It was just a little observation I had. I just wanted to share it. Like, know that humility is hard, so be patient with your responses and your answers sometime, and don't be afraid to check yourself, because at the end of the day, God has all of our best interests at heart, not just mine and not just yours, but everybody. Like, literally, what Joseph experienced basically saved a kingdom from dying, essentially, because there was food for everybody, because of Joseph's ability to dream, interpret dreams, believe what God said despite whatever, and just wisdom in how to handle the lesson that God had given him through the king's dream. It was just a lot. He was just led by God. He just was. And so, yeah, so that story just encouraged me on the whole humility joint. Um, humility is not pretending that you don't know what God said about you. It ain't what Joseph did. You know what I'm saying? Um, but humility is just having an obedient response to the will of God. So that's all I have for today. I hope that you go to church today. I hope that you also watch my vlog and that you like it and you share it and you subscribe and that you comment on it and all of those good things. Have a sweet Sunday. Peace!